Hello everyone from Patio Frutal, the fruitful yard. Today I'm going to show you what I have done to be able to get figs here in the Northeast Zone 6B in Rhode Island specifically, which is snowland. We got 4 seasons here, so I'll show you what I do uh, to be able to keep my figs alive. So we're going to start with a cutting. That's how you usually order your plants. Uh, Most of the time you get it cutting, and you have to be the one to make it root in the house. In one place, a greenhouse if you have a greenhouse, but mostly in the house, that's where it all starts. So from a 9-inch cutting, I'm going to show you the process of how I get my figs. So let's go around and show you this. All right. So when that cutting becomes root, and it gets transplanted inside into this grow bag, which is a a fabric bag that I use. This is a 3 gallon bag to plant all my figs in. That way, once once I put them outside to get them to become adults plant, like this here. This is my nursery sort of or playground for the fig. This is where I put them all. And next year, hopefully they will be out here producing figs. So, but before we get too far ahead, I'm going to show you here how, in case you don't know, many fig plants produce 2 crops a year. I do happen to have this year 4 plants that have produced 2 crops. This is one of them. This is the Ischia Black, and she produced over 30 figs in early spring. Now she's carrying more fig, and these are the main crop. And I can show you back here, main crop is starting to ripen up. These are getting bigger, and they start to ripen up soon. That's one of them. That's my Ischia, and then we come over here. I have the Violet de Bordeaux, which produce about 15 fruit in the spring. And look now, she's already starting to ripen up the main crop, as you can see back there. Back over here. And by the way, all of my figs are covered in mesh bags, because if you don't cover them, you're going to have hornets, maggots, little flies getting on your fruit before you eat it. So since I like to eat my things organically, no pesticides and stuff, so I cover them so I don't have to deal with those pests. So that's my second plant that have produced 2 crops. I only have 4 so far this year that produce 2 crops. This one here is my large fig magnolia, and this one produced a fig that was 140 grams. I think there's 28 grams to an ounce. So you do the math, how big it was. I believe this one over here should be around 100 grams per fruit. So that's the fig number 3 that produced 2 crops. And then we're gonna go here to my LSU Gold flat fruit. And this one was my 4th tree that produced a crop. And as you can see, they already start to swelled up because this is the main crop. We're in September the 9th today. So fall is already kind of creeping in little by little. So anyway, so we're gonna go now to show you where they all go in the winter time, because here in New England, when the temperature drops to 15 degrees Fahrenheit, they will die. So this is my storage area. This is a underground or root cellar that I built. It's Originally it was 5.5 feet deep, but I'm going down, but right now a couple of more feet down. So we're going to be around 7 feet. And the reason for me digging it deeper is because my plants are getting bigger. And I want to keep them as large as possible because larger plants produce more fruit. And well, that's when oh, by the way, let me not forget. So they go in there at the beginning of December. They go underground. And at the end of March, they will come out. I'll take them out from there. I'll put the roof on this greenhouse. And I'll put a heater for the nights because the nights are very cold still. You know, very cold temperatures. So I put a couple of electric heaters in here to keep them warm overnight. In the daytime, they don't need so much sun. And I'll set this up so they can be warm enough to start waking up. And they'll wake up and then they start to produce fruit right in there, the ones that are mature enough. And most of it will fall off, but as you see, I showed you already, 4 of my plants did hold Breva crop, which is what is called the early crop. And they produce well, and they come out to be great figs. So keep them in here until probably the beginning of May. Then I have to transfer them outside to get them acclimated to the sunlight, because the sun that they receive inside the greenhouse is not as strong, or it has more strength, will burn up the leaves. So you're gonna have to acclimate them to the sun, otherwise they'll burn up. As you saw earlier in the spring, I have a lot of these plants that have burned up leaf. I have removed them, but you still see some of them here that are still burned up. And well, that's what you gotta do. So back here, where my tomatoes are right now, this is where I will put them because they are in grow bags and they carry the soil with them. I'll put them in here, uh, keep them warm during the day, but they're gonna have a shade cloth covered in them, and that'll help them acclimate and get used to the sun, and they will survive. And once that happens, which is like at the end of May, they will be going into the ground. And I want to show you guys that my plants, all of them, they have the grow bag, and you see how I bury the bag with it, and that's where they feed themselves. I also have irrigation for them because if it gets too warm and dries up, you can't be going with a bucket every day to water them. So I water them every other day here, and this is what they look like before I put them in the ground. See, they have the grow bag, holes in it. The roots will pop out through those little holes that I make all around it, because the bag itself doesn't come with the holes. You have to cut them up. And if you do this, because you pick up your plants and put them away with a garage or one place, don't forget that in the winter time, if you have it in a garage, you have to water them. Even though they have no leaves or anything, they will dehydrate and die. Because that's one of the mistakes that I made. I mean, beginning of my free growing seasons. I mean, a season, but story. So I had like 20 plants. They all died because they dehydrated over the winter. I didn't think they would need water, but they definitely dry completely. So live and learn, right? So now from that grow area, next year they'll go outside and start growing just like this road here, which I call Fig Road. Fig a Road. So I want to show you. I'm gonna come around and I want to show you some of my figs. Um, this is an Italian everberry, and this one I can guarantee you they're good size. So these are like around 100 grams a piece. But you see, they're all covered. so there's no bugs getting into my fruit. So there's quite a bit of them, and I will be picking them up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab this one here. Oh, came up very easily because it's so ripe already. So let me get it out of the bag. And of course, you have to fall, make it more difficult. So, show you what it looks like. It's hard to do with one hand, but you see, it's very thin skin. Mm. Very, very sweet. Uh, nice fruity tone. A lot of people call them berry tones or, berry flavors, but it is really a flavor of its own. But people have a similitude to a flavor, so they name it. Mm, so they name it after that. But to each his own. Fig is a fig, and fig has its own flavor. It's like a mango. There's so many varieties of mango. They all have their own unique flavor. Of course, there's a base flavor of mango. Mm. So this one here is another LSU Gold. And I want you to see that dark color here is the sugar uh, materializing. So that bee was in there because it is so sweet that the bees are just going after my fruit. And so the bag here protects it from them trying to get my bounty. I want to show you what this one looks like. Sorry if the camera goes out of focus. I mean, not out of focus, but right. So you see, the flesh of the fruit is totally good. That darkness doesn't mean that it's going bad or anything. It's just, mm, it's just that it is so sweet that the sugars kind of kind of shows up in the skin, but it is or the peel. But it's definitely a overly sweet fig. I thought that the darker colors of the flesh, I mean, that means that they are over sweet, but no. This one is a light color fig, and the sweetener levels on it, it's like, it should be called sugarcane fig because it tastes just like sugarcane juice. Mm. No sea crunch, just pure sweetness. So, so this is one of my large fig magnolia. My smallest fig is the brown turkey. So I have this brown turkey. They're pretty tiny, and they really pack a nice berry flavor. This one you can say kind of tastes like raspberries or something like that. Look at that. It's cute, beautiful, and the flavor is very unique. Mm, boy, that is really like jelly. The sweetener levels on it, it's like somebody put sugar in this thing. And you see, it has a whole bunch of them. All that white that you see there, those are all bags protecting my bounty because they are for me and not for the bees. Bees that can go to those flowers if they want to get honey for themselves, and these are mine. Like I said, you're protected from bugs, all the bees and stuff that is flying around, and you just get your own bounty. So there you go, guys. I'm not gonna make this too long, but I just wanted to show you the fruitfulness of the fig and what it takes to take care of it. I hope you learned. Like, share and subscribe. And don't forget, leave me a comment. I appreciate it. And you have a great evening.